morning, everybody, and it's really great to see such a full house in registration for the events today. It's a really impressive programme, and first of all, to very warmly welcome all of the team members from Infomar, all of the contributors and presenters, all of those who have been beneficiaries of some of the research programme funding. I'm very much looking forward to hearing all of today's contributions, and particularly to acknowledge and welcome our DSI colleagues, Koen and Archie and the team, and to compliment from the bottom of my heart the joint team effort that brings Infomar to fruition, the results of which you will all see today. I don't need to go any further really in setting the backdrop to Infomar and the work of Seabed Survey, and then to quote our Prime Minister and Taoiseach Dana Kenny at the launch of the Ellie William Butler Yeats on Monday in Galway, where he emphasised two really critical policy objectives of Ireland. The implementation of harnessing our ocean wealth, Ireland's integrated national marine plan. The work of Infomar, the execution of Infomar, is identified as one of the key enabling actions of government to support a multi-sectoral economic target of doubling the turnover of the marine economy to 6.4 billion by 2020, but also to enable the other key goals of our integrated plan, that of sustainable development and protecting the marine environment, informing ourselves about our heritage, our culture, the reality of who is involved, the environment, the services that come from the environment, and very much looking to the future and the ability to predict and forecast some of the challenges we are facing. The lack of understanding on this planet of the reality of an accurate map of our ocean floor is something that is a blind spot in society. Less than 10% at a very generous level of 70% of the physical surface of this planet has yet to be mapped in a manner that we take for granted with terrestrial land. It is an increasingly enjoyable experience to be at international fora that are looking at marine policy, marine research direction, marine development, blue economy, where Ireland is repeatedly and consistently and legitimately cited as a leader in the policy direction when it came to undertaking a national seabed survey, in the execution and in the methodology that it is using to generate those maps. And let us remind ourselves in the joy of looking to the project next year with the budget restoration, and many congratulations to Koen and Brian Carroll in the department for the success of that. That was a project that survived the worst of our economic downturn when many, many things fell. The persistence and policy commitment to continue with the Seabed Survey right through the darkest economic times is not something we should take for granted, but it also demonstrates where it really counts, a valuing both in the terms of a policy commitment and a financial allocation to support that. But we need it as a nation, and it is an exemplar initiative to the world in what the world needs is a real map of the world. We often talk of the real map of Ireland, but this planet needs a real map of the world, and that means a fit-for-purpose, multi-beam map of the seafloor. Because if we are to deal with the challenges of climate change, coupled with population growth and the pressures they are going to bring on many parts of an already stressed, developing and emerging world, the threats and issues associated with climate change need an accurate map. They need fit-for-purpose observations of the oceans, coupled with the cryosphere, to be able to forecast what society and mankind needs is a fit-for-purpose forecasting capability for the risks associated and the benefits associated with climate change, so that we can be informed and enabled to take the appropriate policy and mitigating actions, to take benefit from the opportunities that it creates, and to mitigate to the best of our ability the risks that it poses. In that regard, again, at JEPCO meeting with the Nippon Foundation in Monaco earlier this year, again it was heartening to see the recognition by many nations of Ireland's leadership from both policy and programme execution with Infomar, and many countries calling for that to be spread globally. It is an exciting time in the context of the Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance that Canada, the US and the EU very much value the role of seabed mapping and ocean observation and forecasting, and there's a very active working group advising the Trilateral Partnership on how literally one could go about mapping the North Atlantic. There is a willingness to do it. And if we take in context, and another thing we have to do is decommission a few mindsets. We have to decommission a mindset that somehow or other that's too expensive or we don't need it. Society and the world needs that map of the world's oceans. We need to decommission mindsets historically in hydrography that something that's flat and featureless as it might be is uninteresting. That's where the microbial communities of the ocean floor that are making an as yet unquantified contribution to how the whole ocean system works, that's where they lie, and that's where the opportunity to unlock the knowledge of what they contribute is a challenge for science ahead. But we can do this mapping, and I would cite for you the investment that it has taken to search for the Malaysian airliner, as yet unsuccessfully, would more than adequately map between the United States and what the Ireland has done in seabed mapping. So we need to decommission a few mindsets that these things are either unnecessary or in any way too expensive. And I look forward to the opportunity that, inspired by Ireland and inspired by the Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance, that work will get underway in the period not too far ahead. And the work of Infomar and everybody associated with it is and can be an increasing inspiration. So don't undervalue the importance of the continued excellence and commitment to the work that's going on here. Again, I want to warmly acknowledge and congratulate the team of people, many of whom you will get to hear from and learn of their work in depth today. It would be wrong of me not to call out Tommy and Archie for their leadership in project management. I would also be very remiss of me on this occasion if I did not single out Archie, who has been there from the very, very beginning. It may well be that this could be his last official participation in the annual seminar, but I'm sure we will see many, many contributions from Archie in many other areas in the period ahead. But Archie, with your permission, I would just like to ask you to join me here for a moment, because I just want to make a little contribution to you, to acknowledge that. And if I can explain what I'm handing over to Archie, some people might consider it the logo of the Marine Institute, but really the inspiration for the logo of the Marine Institute is simply the real map of Ireland, which Archie and the Infomar teams have been dedicating themselves on behalf of Ireland to generate the most open access, multi-beam, fit for purpose map that any nation on this planet currently has. Thank you.